2 years ago, I did a video, Xbox is winning, and people lost their shit. Literally, the console war is real. Now, keep in mind, at the time, I was a heavy PlayStation fan, and I discussed PlayStation stuff all the time. Even as recent as 5 months ago, people are still on that video in the comments saying things like, well, that didn't age well, and what type of stuff are you smoking? First of all, that's disrespectful. Secondly, I was right. And so today I'm humbly and, dare I say, respectfully, laughing my ass off at them. I want to move away from data, like console sales and things like that, that can create narratives. Now, don't get me wrong, data drives all things, and data shows a picture of true reality. And so when you say that PlayStation has sold more consoles, you're right. But what I'll say to that is that statistics can be used to paint a narrative and tell a flat out bold-faced lie. Yes, PlayStation has sold more consoles, but let's look at the sample size. Xbox sample size isn't just consoles. It's all around Game Pass and everything else within the ecosystem. And so, but we're going to cover today that Xbox doesn't care about console sales. I want to cover the fact that I'm not fair weather and I'm not bandwagoning Xbox or anything derogatory like that. I want to point out that I'm a real gamer, like a true gamer, meaning I game on all systems. I have the Xbox Series X, 2 of them, and S, 2 of them, and multiple PCs. I have a Nintendo Switch, I have a PS5, I have multiple gaming handhelds, I have multiple gaming controllers like the Backbone and all of those different things, and I'm going to buy the PlayStation 5 Slim when it releases. I'm merely speaking from facts and a user, an actual user of all games, and someone that invests heavily within the gaming environment. Following up to my video that I released 2 years ago, I started to notice a couple months after the launch of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S that Xbox was trending up, and they were trending more towards the user experience and value add to the user. 1, Xbox does not care about console sales at all. Xbox has basically built an ecosystem that rivals the Apple ecosystem, where it's almost impossible to get out of that ecosystem because of the value you get within that ecosystem. Lastly, Xbox is set up for long-term success. If you think about not only the ZeniMax acquisition, but now the Activision acquisition, but not only that, Game Pass and the ecosystem and the user-friendly approach that they took for that. And lastly, potentially Nintendo. Like, they don't even have to get Nintendo. We'll go into that in a second. And I think also the biggest thing that people are not thinking about is that Xbox through Microsoft owns Azure. Azure is the second largest cloud service next to Amazon Web Service. Now that we're trending towards cloud gaming being a very big thing, Microsoft owns that as well. And so they can set up their network of cloud gaming far beyond what Sony can set up in theirs. And that's something that's not being discussed. They won. For my first topic, Xbox doesn't care about consoles, or they care about consoles, but they don't care about winning the console war. And here's why. I can pick up anything. I can walk from this room to my living room, to my bedroom, to my kids' room, and I can grab something that I can play Game Pass on, which means I don't need an Xbox console to do any of that. Furthermore, I can go into my bedroom and sit in front of my Samsung OLED, as well as my Samsung M8, as well as the Samsung M7 in the study, as well as my wife's Samsung M8 in her office, and I can open up the Game Pass gaming console on the Samsung Gaming Hub without having an Xbox anywhere in those areas, and I can start playing Xbox games. Not only the old Xbox games, but I can play generation day one releases such as Starfield recently at any of those particular stations within the house without an Xbox Series X or S anywhere to be seen. I don't even have to use a damn Xbox controller to do it. I can connect my DualSense controller to the television and play Xbox games. No, they didn't have all of the exclusives that PlayStation have. And you know, they can't tout things like God of War and The Last of Us and things like that. It's not even about that. It's just the fact that with Game Pass, you can move between your consoles and you can move between your PC and your handhelds, and you can play those games and you can pick up from that last spot. So I can play Starfield right here on my PC. Then I can go upstairs and play it in my bedroom right there on my Xbox Series X. And then if I get ready to leave because the kids have practice or something like that, I can pick up my Rogue Asus Ally, take it with me and pick up from there and just continue to play without any hitch whatsoever. And I'm not paying for extra games. That's just not something that PlayStation is willing to do. Furthermore, you can't even buy their games digitally on places like Amazon or GameStop for a discounted rate because you can only buy the digital versions on their PlayStation Store. I've hinted at this ecosystem that Xbox is creating throughout this video, and it kind of goes through the rest because it's the biggest reason why they've won to this point. The acquisitions, like I'm gonna stay away from the acquisitions because those are major milestones, but that's not even their strategy. That's a part of their strategy, but their strategy is the fact that you can play Xbox anywhere. The PlayStation Portal that just released, you can't even use Bluetooth with that. They basically locked out any other gaming headset by not using Bluetooth. That's trash. I mean, like, call it what it is, right? Summarizing all of these things, as far as like the value that Xbox has created. The fact that I could pick up I picked up Starfield, I bought the Constellation package, I did a video on that, but I also have the Game Pass version that I can play anywhere in the house. So even if I didn't go out and buy the Constellation package, I still had free access to that brand new game, day one. Life of Pi, brand new, day one. Forza Motorsports, brand new, day one. I didn't have to go out and buy those games because I'm a Game Pass subscriber. I have those games, and they continue to sign up new Game Pass members at the tune of $16.99 a month for the Ultimate package. And I don't even know how many, like, again, staying away from data, I don't even know how many subscribers they have today, but that's a tremendous amount of monthly revenue that Xbox brings in while providing equal, if not better value to the people that are actually paying into that. Yes, PlayStation promotes, creates, and builds amazing hardware, amazing games, but they don't care about you. And they've shown that to this point. The only reason they even have the Plus membership is because Game Pass was kicking their ass and they had to. Just call it what it is, right? The long-term success of Xbox, again, I've already mentioned it. They have the different acquisitions. They have the Microsoft Azure cloud to build out the consistent cloud gaming space. So let's stop playing like that's not the future of gaming, or at least a big portion of the future of gaming. Let's not pretend that Xbox also didn't purchase different studios that allow them to have a big hand in the cell phone mobile gaming industry, which is also a very, very large industry. And so again, I'm not jumping into numbers or anything like that, but they're just set up for success. No matter which direction you look, they are set up for success. And lastly, they don't have to actually acquire Nintendo. They just have to get Nintendo to agree to have Game Pass on it. I'm not promoting Microsoft having power over gaming. I'm not, because we win through competition. But what I will say is Xbox and Microsoft have created this ecosystem and environment where we all win. And that's the last thing I'll say on that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.